We are in an age of information overload, and finding useful action seems difficult. How can we cut through all the noise to come to meaningful actions? We need to focus in on using knowledge and turning it into proper action, but where do we start? The good news is none of us has to start from scratch. My name is popealricrahl. I have made this channel to educate people in the art of critical thinking and assist every person who desires to become a truth seeker. This video presents a metaphor that we can all use to motivate us towards useful action in our own lives. Stick around as you have a homework assignment at the end of the lesson. Now please take a seat. Class is in session. To reinvent the wheel is to attempt to duplicate something that has already been created by someone else, and in this example, that being the wheel, which is an ancient archetype for human ingenuity. It's been used in so much of our modern technology. It's pretty much flawless, so trying to reinvent it would probably be a waste of time, right? We need to find the wheels we have been ignoring in our own lives and start using them before moving on to creating something new. This is important because many people get stalled trying to start a new goal, a new hobby, whatever the case. They think, oh, I have to invent the wheel. No, you don't. Whether it's learning to cook for yourself, working out, a skill needed for a career, you already have people who have done that same task, pretty much guaranteed, unless you're really that much of a genius that you're inventing something that's never been done before. But for most people listening to this video, you need to start thinking of, I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I just need to go to the source of knowledge and learn from them. And you need to motivate yourself to do that. So the metaphor emphasizes understanding existing solutions, not necessarily settling for them, but if you're going to start something, whether it's even just a business idea that you have, you got to first look at what has already been done and what skills, knowledge, and everything has already been developed in that field. And then you can move on to trying to master it and create something. But you don't want to be at the point where you're trying to create something, you're struggling, and you give up because you didn't even go back and see, well, I'm trying to make a new wheel. What does the current wheel look like? What is the spokes? How does it work? You need to start at a certain point, and you don't want to be reinventing and doing work that somebody else already did for you. We're so lucky in this age that we have books, internet, YouTube, everything around us that provides us these resources. Learning never ends, even after you're out of school. We need to be learning in order to feel that we're growing and partially to feel that our lives have meaning. Learning isn't just watching a video, getting a lecture, reading a book. Learning is more detailed than that. There are 5 knowledge learning levels in education: recognition, recall, comprehension, application, and evaluation and analysis. We want to be moving past just the recognition and recall and get to application, where we're applying what we learned. You have to put that knowledge into motion. If you're in school, you're most likely getting your recognition and recall tested in some form, maybe in your comprehension, depending on how rigorous the testing is. If you're working, you're going to be judged on the quality of work. You have to take these tasks seriously, even if it's not what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. You need to put your full effort in and get good habits. Otherwise, when you want to do something that you actually are passionate about, you're not going to have the discipline. And practice makes perfect. Once you learn something, you need to be doing it consistently. It can apply to basic things like cooking, working out. Doing it again and again is going to make you very good at it. Maybe you're not going to be the best, the master, but you're going to be adept at it. And now you have discipline to go move to other areas of life. So you've learned, you now have practiced enough to become adept at the task. Once that happens, then you can start creating your own things. You can start being more creative. Have a goal to create a masterpiece. If we're not talking about something basic like cooking and working out, if that's not on your goals, you already know how to do that. You want to learn how to paint, for example. You got to have some goals in there. And you're not going to create a masterpiece the first time. You're going to make mistakes multiple times. I mean, it probably won't surprise you to say that this video of this man painting, this is obviously not the first painting he has done. We all know good things take time and effort to come to be. You have to work at it. You have to practice. Luckily, you do not have to reinvent the wheel. Other people have done it before you. You can learn from them. You can learn from books. You can learn from videos. You don't have to start from scratch. So don't. You don't have to make up your own style if you want to be a painter. Learn how to paint from Bob Ross first. Once you've mastered, or master is the wrong word, once you've become adept at learning his style, then you can start to try to master your own. And that's just an example, but use your common sense and apply this to other areas as well. Alright, time for your homework assignment. So we don't want to just be consuming content, we want to be putting it usefully, we want to be learning and growing. So you're going to choose something you want to learn and improve. An example I'll give you is cooking. Why? Because it's something we all have to do to live, and there's so much content out there, whether it's cookbooks, videos, Pinterest. You can even ask ChatGPT to make you a recipe. But you can learn the basics from an expert today. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. So to train, you're going to plan to work on it every day for 40 days. And that means if it's cooking, you're going to try to cook a meal each day, whether it's breakfast, if it's lunch, dinner, whatever the case. Once you have passed the 40 days, you're going to try to make your own variation. You're going to try to make your own recipe based on what you've learned. So that's what you're going to do. What you need to do also is write everything down. If you do not own a pen and a notebook, go out today and buy one. You need to start writing more things. If you want to use it on a Word, if you're that technical that you want to use a Word document, that's fine. I'll give you that as an alternate option. But you're going to start writing down your goals, your dreams down each day. Start having that as a journal. And you want to start today. So really, please do. I emphatically encourage you to go out and buy a notebook and pen. And really why notebook and pen is easier because you don't have to open anything like software. You're not relying on anything. You can just write it down in your own handwriting. And there's something more actualizing about writing down versus typing. I believe that anyway. So write down all your progress. If your goal was to learn how to cook in 40 days, every day you're going to write what you cooked and whether it tasted good and stuff like that. And again, it doesn't have to be cooking, but apply this to something that's really going to be useful for you in your life. If you don't know what you want, you have to start figuring it out. So write down what goals you want for your future. I'm going to make another video, I think, about goals, planning, and everything like that. But this has more or less been kind of just easy to get me in the format of getting everyone thinking, planning, and don't reinvent the wheel was just a metaphor that really stood out to me. But anyways, that's your homework. Take the assignment seriously, and please continue it. If you actually do it, please come back to the video and comment. You can share what you wrote down, what your goal is, what you're trying to work on. I look forward to hearing from you guys. If you've stuck around this long for this video, I really appreciate you. This has really just been kind of a test. I had the idea of don't reinvent the wheel. That metaphor just got stuck in my head, and I've needed to practice my editing and my video creation skills. I do want to become an educator. This is what this channel is about, is what it's going for, is to educate, help you, the viewer, skip ahead, skip to the front of the line, not waste time, and get the exact information, knowledge you need, and apply it in a useful way. And I'm going to be exploring philosophy, I'm going to be exploring history, a bunch of different topics that interest me, but also trying to give you a useful thing that you can do at the end of the video to make this not just be a waste of just consumerism. I want you to be entertained, but I also want you to get something out of it. So hopefully you got something out of it and you really enjoyed it. I hope to see you in a future video. I look forward to the quality of my videos improving. I look forward to the content being a bit more rich. Again, this was very kind of a simple topic, just talking about one metaphor and giving you a homework assignment at the end. But I look forward to doing more as time goes on. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found my channel, if you've watched this video, I hope you're a truth seeker. I hope you want to find meaning in your life or have found it already. And I hope that you continue with me. I want to explore these topics, more deeper topics like philosophy, but I don't want to just be a talking head. I don't want to just bring up my innovation on something that's been said 1,000 times. I want us to give us all an opportunity to use it in a practical way, or to use it to learn to grow. This journey is going to take patience and discipline. I need to increase both of those virtues in myself. I hope you're prepared for that journey and you want to come along with me. I hope you subscribe and continue to watch these videos. If you did the homework and you want to do the homework, please comment. Please share this video with your friends. If you have advice, if you have suggestions, I'd love to take that too. So just please leave those in the comments. And again, I just want to thank you again for joining me today, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.